Feel great, you know. Wish we was in a better situation, you know. But 5-0, we got to just keep it going, man. It's a tough division, tough league. Like I said, we just got to keep going.
Lamar, why couldn't you guys get it rolling in the first half?
We need to execute better. A lot of things, you know, I feel we just got to put points on the board, man. Our defense playing lights out for the last few weeks. Played good in Miami, you know, but the last few weeks I feel like we need to put more points on the board and execute drives.
Does it get frustrating to see what the defense has done from the start they had, especially the last 5 or 6 games, and then special teams as well, to not get that complete dominant team win from your side of the ball?
Yeah, a little bit, because, you know, it's our job. You know, I'm an offensive guy. You know, I'm not playing defense. It's great to see our defense playing great, but it'll also feel great and look great when we playing as well, you know, to match their energy. And we just need to do that, you know, week in, week out, because those guys stepping up. We need to do the same thing.
Lamar, has there been a game yet since you've come back from injury where you kind of feel like, okay, I'm fully myself, I'm fully healthy, I'm fully ready to compete the way, you know, we've seen you compete over the last few years?
I can't call it, you know, but I'm out there, so I feel like I should still be able to do what I do.
How much did the ankle bother you at all today? I mean, I know it was obviously taped up a good bit, but did it hinder you at all?
No, it was pretty solid, you know, for the most part. It was pretty solid.
So, Lamar, do you feel injuries are holding you back or holding this offense back in a way because you're not able to?
No, I don't think that at all. You know, I feel like we just need to execute, you know, a lot better. We get in great field position, but we're not putting points on the board. You know, that have nothing to do with no injury. We just need to put points on the board right there.
When you guys kind of struggled from the outset, you obviously went to Zay a bunch after that. Did that help you find a rhythm throwing the ball?
I feel like we found a rhythm running the ball as well. You know, Darren Henry was hitting gaps. Keaton had one, even though it got called back later in the game. But I feel like when we playing how we play on our level, everything looks good, you know.
Why do you think you guys have, what's held you back from executing on offense, do you think, at least for today? What do you think held you guys back?
Some missed opportunities sometimes, you know, weaknesses in the defense. I feel like we should take advantage of that. We just did.
Okay, great win against a tough opponent who is ready to play. Very well coached, very hard playing, very talented team, and you saw it out there today. So really proud of our guys. The message this week, all right. The verse message was from Psalm 23, and yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. And I feel like that's the way the story of the game went. It's the way the story of the season has gone in a sense. First half was tough, and they did a really good job. And our guys kept fighting even to the end of the second quarter, and then we got the lead, and you know, we were nobody flinched. We came out, we had 3 straight scoring drives, and we took the game over in the third quarter. And into the fourth quarter, we played really well. So, but a couple things that jump out at me right away is the punt team. All right, start with Jordan Stout and the punt coverage guys. That kept us in the game probably, because we were backed up field position wise. We'd averaged at 20. We were backed up inside the 10 once or twice too. You know, they had done a good job with their punt team, the kickoffs and all the different things. They moved the ball a couple times, and we were backed up offensively, and that made it tough against that defense. And then our punt team would bail us out and push them all the way back inside the 20. Couple times inside the 10 and even at the 5 late. I mean, that punt at the end of the game was unbelievable. So I think our punt team in a lot of ways kept us in and was the difference maker in the game. And Chris Horton deserves so much credit for that. Chris Horton has done a great job. This is a young group. That was the #1 ranked special teams in the league coming in here. And Chris Horton had those guys ready, man. He had those guys ready in every phase. And you can see how good they were, how dangerous they were on kickoff return and everything else. Got the big kickoff return to Keaton that got that scoring drive started in the second quarter. So really proud of that. I thought Chris, I just want to make sure we mentioned what a great job Chris has done with those guys. And then those young guys, man. It's a bunch of young guys, a bunch of guys that compete and get after it and fight and practice hard every day. So proud of those guys. All right, what questions do you have?
How does it feel after starting off 1-5, now 5 straight wins, and with the Steelers losing today, you're tied atop of the AFC North?
Well, it feels great. It feels great, but it's just it's halfway done. You know, it's not over. You know, season's not over. Game wasn't over. Season's not over. And we play 4. We play the Steelers twice, and we play the Bengals twice in the next few weeks. So that's going to be it right there, And starting Thursday night, we've got no time really to rest. We've got to go to work on the Bengals, and we know what that's like. So how challenging that is. So we're ready. We'll be ready to go.
Hey, John, speaking with a short week, we saw Kyle Hamilton limp off to the locker room. Do you have an update on him?
Kyle is not a serious. It's not a serious injury. Taven also limped off. We'll have to evaluate that one, and we'll know more tomorrow.
John, it's another week Lamar is such a high standard guy, but it's another week where he's not played the way we're used to seeing him play at the MVP level. Being close to him, do you characterize this as sort of some things he's working through? What's your confidence that he'll get back to the level we've seen him?
Thanks for asking. It's a great, and I like the way you asked it too. Appreciate it. Utmost confidence in Lamar Jackson. Always will. He's my guy. He's our guy. He's our quarterback, and Lamar's doing what he needs to do. He's winning football games, and it's not always pretty. I don't know how many times in the last however many years we've had wins like this where we've gotten up here and said, it's not pretty and it's not perfect, but it's us. It's us competing and fighting, and that's what Lamar's doing. The pretty games will be there. They'll be there for Lamar Jackson. You can bet on that. But I'm proud of him right now. I'm really proud of him. The way he's fighting to win football games.
John, how big was the 4th and 2 stop in the third quarter?
So big.
Kind of shift momentum.
So big. Nate, they went after Nate with a little hitch stop there, and he just played it perfectly technique-wise. He challenged a young corner sometimes, his technique, his eyes, those kind of things, and he played it beautifully.
Hey, John, early in the game, you guys had 4th and inches. You brought the punt team out. You called timeout, and then you brought the offense back on. Was that a case where Lamar Jackson talked to you into it, or was that a plan all along?
Well, I did see his facial expression. I will have to admit to that. But really what it was shorter than we thought. It seemed a little longer for whatever reason on the spot, we thought. And, it was really a situation where you're probably punting everything unless it was inches. And it turned out to be then it looked like about 3 inches. But then they spotted it right before the field goal, right before the snap. And I'm like, it's like a half a yard. I think they moved it back again, But we got it. And so I thought that was awesome. That was big.
4th down, was it a hard decision to make the call to go with it on the Henry run? To go for it in that situation versus kick field goal?
It was a tough call, and we just decided that the downside of leaving them backed up there would be okay, But that was a tough call, not taking the points for the sure points.
Sorry. Especially with Marlon coming off the finger surgery, given that game situation, how big was the forced fumble inside the 5?
Marlon, and then, of course, Lowe coming up with the ball. But Marlon, to get that ball out, I don't know how he did it because we were reeling a little bit. They had us on our heels, They were running the ball. They had made some plays. We missed some tackles. And then he comes up just huge. That, to me, is like that's the lion spike right there. That's the lion spike of the game right there. And then the pass rush. How about the pass rush? I thought those guys bringing it in on the pass rush was good. Now, I'm disappointed in the fact that Tyrod got out, but we knew that. He's a hard guy to get down. That was pretty much a lot of their offense was him scrambling around and making plays on the run. But we got him down. We got some pressure, especially at the end in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter pass rush is a big deal.
You cautioned that season is not over yet, but to get back to this point, but even before Thanksgiving, where everyth's still in front of you from where you were at 1-5, what sort of stands out to you about your ability to do that?
I think it's what we talked about before. I think it's that faith and guts and the idea that guys are, you walk through all these things and it makes you stronger and builds you into what you need to be, and hopefully that's the type of team that we are becoming. And we still have a whole bunch of games left, that to fight through, and they're all going to be tough games. Every single one of them will be like this. The rest of the season is going to be tough. So we're going to have to be tough also. We're going to be tough enough to deal with it. But the pass rush, how about Dre on the 2 sacks? 2 sacks, coming up with those sacks and getting him on the ground late, that was huge.
John, to kind of follow up on what you're just talking about, I know you're a one game at a time type guy, but that being said, you look at the schedule for the next 3 weeks, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. Is there sort of a different juice to the portion of the schedule you're getting into where these division games are going to be really tough?
I don't know if I'd say different juice because I think the juice has been there every single week. You couldn't underestimate or undercalculate the juice that's gone into these games, and the fact that our guys have what it takes to bring it again, like Roquan was talking to the team in the locker room and the final break. about that very thing this week against the Bengals. And it's just the Bengals. It's the Bengals on Thursday night. That's it.
John, with Derrick Henry, I think he's now up to 12 on the all-time league. I think he passed Marcus Allen, Edgerrin James. I know you're not thinking about it at the time watching him run, but is it kind of interesting to see a guy that, just every yard he's moving up kind of NFL history?
It is. You start running out of game balls. How many game balls can you give him? So maybe we'll wait till he cracks the top 10. I don't know. But he's going to get more yards. And then, having players like that on your team, and this guy sitting right here is in the same category, but or like DeAndre Hopkins, who's going after his 1,000th catch. Thought about trying to get him his 1,000th catch there too, but it won't have to do that. It's coming. It'll be there Thursday night. So seeing those guys play and being a part of that, their careers, is really cool.
John, last year there were struggles with special teams and penalties. This year through 12 weeks, you guys are probably top 5, top 10 in both those categories. Just how helpful can that be to a team like this going through some ups and downs, and just what is it like to see it kind of come out on the field today?
Such a good observation, because that's a difference maker. We are. I don't know how many penalties we had today. It wasn't very many, and I think we're fourth, or something like that, and least amount of penalties. I'm really proud of our guys for that. Tony Mihalik's done a great job for us, but everybody, has done a great job. And special teams is, today was a big challenge for the special teams. It was a red letter game. The old red letter game. Michigan used to have red letter games. Ohio State was one of them. And this was a red letter game for our special teams, and they really came up big.
2 more for John.
Coach, going back to Jordan, he did have a career long today, and he's talked about how he just feels more comfortable and like he's flowing out there. How have you seen him progress now that he's in year 4?
That's such a good question. He has made a big jump. He's made a big jump this year, and I think he's kind of found himself. Sometimes you got to figure out, what type of a punter am I going to be, and I think he's really punting to his strengths. 71-yard punt. I think it might be the 6th longest in history.
No, the 61.5 average is the 6th longest in history for his average today.
61.5 average, 6th longest since 1960.
74-yarder is the longest.
Is that were you born in 1960, Bo?
I was not born yet, were you?
I was not. That's probably why I asked that question. I'm looking, Cliff. Oh, there we go. Got a couple back there. Nice.
No, but his 74-yarder was the longest, tied Sam Cook for the longest ever by
the Ravens, right? Sam and a 74-yarder. Sam's going to see. Sam, right now, you're tied for number 1, Sam.
But Jordan, you said over the 4 years you've just seen.
He
thought he was under a lot of pressure coming off of Sam Cook, right? How he's handled that over the last 4 years.
I think that's exactly right. And Sam deserves credit too, because Sam's been working with him. Worked with him for his first couple years here, and still talks to him all the time. So, it's cool to see.